What you guys, got another video here for you. Why is Windows 11 so bad? That is the question I get all the time from comments and other people on Discord and just general conversations that I've had with people. And in all honesty, I think they're completely wrong because Windows 11 is not as bad as a lot of people think. Yes, it has a lot of adverts inside here and there's a lot of settings you have to turn off, but that doesn't make it necessarily a bad operating system. There is a lot of bloat and you do have to go through here and toggle a lot of this stuff off, or you can do it in the registry, or you can do it inside Group Policy Editor. But where a lot of people go wrong is they start to use other things to tweak Windows. And this is where a lot of the problems start for Windows. But before we go into more details, let's have a quick word from today's video sponsor, CD Key Sales. If you're looking for a cheap Windows 11 Pro or cheap Windows 10 Pro OEM key, then check out the links in the video description. Head over to their website, create an account and use my promo code R09 and apply this to your order and get a 30% discount on all your purchases. Once you've done that, you can submit your order and pay with PayPal, and they will then send you your key and you'll be able to activate your version of Windows, just like you see right here on the screen. So you don't necessarily have to use things like scripts and debloat tools to debloat Windows. Now, there's quite a few areas inside here that you have to go through and turn off. And these are all to do with privacy settings, notifications, and other types of things that you might want to disable just for the sake of stopping adverts from popping up on your screen. All of these can be turned off with a simple toggle button, and you can use the registry editor to turn these off physically, or you can use Group Policy Editor if you have Windows 11 Pro and above. And Windows 11 is starting to become a bit of an ad campaign for Microsoft. They put a lot of adverts in all of their software, and this is where a lot of people get fed up with Windows. But in all honesty, it's not that bad. This is another area that they've just added in, which is a simple toggling off like so. And a lot of people get concerned about these being turned back on every time there's an update. If you use Group Policy Editor, these will not come back on. They are turned off until you re-enable them again. And this is where the Group Policy Editor comes into its own. So inside Group Policy Editor, you've seen me make videos on this topic before. You can come inside here and you can turn a lot of this stuff off. For instance, if we go into, say, for instance, email here, and I'll just do one just to show you, we can enable this feature, force deny, apply and OK. And if we go and check out email here, you'll see that it's been turned off. So we're going to go back into settings and we're going to go into privacy here and then come down to where it says email. And you'll see some of these settings are managed by your organization. So it's been turned off and you can't turn it back on. Now this is completely reversible. You can go back in here and turn this back on to default by just turning this to not configured, and it will go back to default settings. So let me quickly show you. So we're going to go back in here and we're going to go back into privacy and security and then come down to email, and you can see it's already gone back. So these can't be turned on or off by Microsoft. Once these policies are set in place, it doesn't matter whether you update Windows, they are going to be still off when you update. Now, we already know that Microsoft have got features in here which people don't like Copilot. I don't particularly like it. I don't particularly like their start menu. But that doesn't make Windows 11 a bad operating system. Where people make the mistake is they start going on the internet and they start using tools like these, and they will start running all of this on their PC and disabling a lot of features. And sometimes they can't remember what they did, but it's debloated Windows and completely messed up their operating system. And these tools are widely used by people on the internet. And you can see there's another one here, Shut Up 10. and we've got other ones here which do more damage, like removing Microsoft Edge using a batch file. Now, of course, Microsoft being Microsoft, people don't like Microsoft Edge and they want to uninstall it. And of course, when you go and download a script like this one, or you go and look at a video on YouTube and find a script, you go and download it and run it on your system and it removes Edge. What you have to understand is some of these scripts haven't been updated for a very long time. Some of them are outdated, some of them are end of life, they don't work anymore, but they still will attempt to remove stuff and it could brick your system and you may need to then reinstall your operating system. And of course, this one does warn you about removing Edge may cause an update failure loop. And again, if people don't read or they don't look at the information here, this can cause a problem. So you have to be very, very careful. There is no warranty with these particular types of scripts. And again, some of these are outdated, they don't work, but they can still cause a problem. And this is where I see most of the problems with Windows 11. People running tools or scripts on their systems and breaking it, and then they want to reverse it. And unfortunately, they don't want to reinstall Windows. And again, they are left with no option but to reinstall Windows, which is a big sort of inconvenience for that person. Now, like I've said before, using scripts like these come with no warranty whatsoever. You can see right here, Chris has listed it out right here. Misuse of this utility can break your install, so please be careful. I do not provide any help or assistance should this happen. Basically, putting the responsibility at your door for downloading and using the application. And this can be said for any particular type of script that you use or download off the internet and run it on your system. It goes without saying, this is not the only website. I'm not just picking on Chris's tool here, but they're all the same. You are running this at your own risk. And there's other scripts like Defender Remover, which will basically remove Windows Defender. And again, this hasn't been updated for quite some time. And if you start running this on your system, you can end up having major problems. Windows updates can end up failing due to the fact that you've removed something that it doesn't like. And you can end up having to do a fresh install of Windows. So always understand the risks when you're running things like this on your computer. Don't blame Windows 11 or Microsoft for problems that you've created yourself by running debloat scripts or scripts to remove certain key components that you don't want. Windows 10 debloaters, Windows 11 debloaters, some of these haven't been updated for many years. And again, you start running them on the system, it can cause a lot of problems and make the system unstable or make you end up with having blue screens or other issues that may force you to have to reinstall Windows or do a repair install of Windows. So again, Windows 11 is not that bad. You can change the start menu with a piece of software to make Windows 11 more usable if that's really what the problem is. As for feature updates, you don't have to always do feature updates right away. And again, yes, there is adverts that are starting to be embedded in there. And you can turn a lot of this stuff off. You can turn Copilot off, and you can turn off a lot of the news and things like that on their widgets. So a lot of this can be disabled. You just have to go through some of the settings here and turn this stuff off. You can either use the rocker buttons here to turn it off, or use a registry tweak to turn it off, or use group policy, which is probably the more safer route. So as long as you know what you're doing, you should be okay. But running scripts, like I've said, or applications and running these on your PC, it's going to do a lot of changes that you might not know what it's doing in the background. So be very, very careful what stuff you run on your PC. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking about Windows 7 and how fantastic Windows 7 is, and people still using Windows 7 in 2024. I mean, at the end of the day, that was a long time ago, and Windows 7 was never that great at protecting you against malware, ransomware, and other nasty infections out there on the internet. But Windows 11's security level is pretty high, and you're not going to get as infected as you used to back in the day with Windows XP and Windows 7 and Windows Vista. So leaps and bounds have been made when it comes to Windows 11. Now, obviously, there is a lot of things about Windows 11 people don't like, but Microsoft are never ever going to be able to make the perfect operating system that everyone does like. Unfortunately, there's always going to be people that don't like it for whatever reason. Maybe it's the hardware requirements, maybe it's the start menu, Maybe it's all the bloat that comes with it, i.e. all the privacy settings that you have to go in and turn it off, and, you know, yada, yada, yada. There's a ton of different stuff that people don't like about certain things. You can't please everyone, but at the end of the day, I honestly can say that I've been using Windows 11 since it first come out, and it has got better. Yes, there is some issues with it, but, you know, that's going to be the said for any operating system. There is no perfect operating system out there, and there's always going to be the odd bug here and there with every operating system that they've released. So, but it's not as bad as everyone makes out. And I can tell you right now, Windows 10 got some bad reputation back when it was first released. No one really liked it. And of course, now everyone goes on about how great Windows 10 is. And again, if you're a gamer, there is no real difference between Windows 10 and Windows 11. You know, so there is bloat in Windows 10 as well. And there's also telemetry in Windows 10 as well. So you can't avoid it, really. Now, for all those people that think that Windows 11 is a brand new operating system and they hate it and they're staying with Windows 10, they're pretty much the same operating system. Windows have never really made a new operating system from the ground up. You can see here, even in Windows 11, it's still got key components from Windows 7. And this can be said for Windows 10 as well. So this has a lot of Windows 10 built into it and a lot of still key components from Windows 7 days. So that's going to be about it for this video. So if you are looking to use Windows 11 at any time, then go for it. It's not as bad as what people make out. Yes, there's some little gripes in there, but, you know, there are workarounds for those. And I hope this one helps you out. My name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Just want to say a quick shout out to my YouTube members. I really appreciate the support, and I'll catch you in the very next video. Bye for now.